Right. So I'm standing here with Sam Alduri and one of my consultant colleagues from Sweden. He's visiting us on a fellowship, and we're very grateful and lucky to have him here. We have a patient here, and I'll read from my pocket, I guess. But I think the summary of the situation is that that patient has got a gastroscopy where the referrer did not see something, but did biopsies, Seattle protocol, and high-grade dysplasia was found in that biopsy. In addition, there was, so that was the first gastroscopy, and the second gastroscopy showed low-grade dysplasia, and she couldn't see anything. So this is a very interesting situation. It very much relates to the situation that was in that article of endoscopy. So we're going to do a tertiary center examination and take it away. So let's have a paused assessment of the Barrett's once you can get one. This would be great.
A little bit.
Okay, so just looking at that image, how does that look to you?
I do not, my initial blink is that I don't see cancer there.
Okay. Do you see anything there?
A regular Z line, and I would say that there are like some Barrett tongues that are sticking out.
And they are more or less than 1 centimeter.
Yes, I would say, yeah.
They are about 1 centimeter.
Yeah, about 1 centimeter.
Right, so don't unpause it, because I know it's a reflex for everyone to unpause.
Yeah.
You keep it paused. So I do think, I agree with you, that there is about a maximum a centimeter of Barrett's esophagus there, but nothing circumferential. So you're a betting man, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are a very intelligent man who I know likes to, cover your bases in terms of probabilities. So if you were going to bet where the dysplasia is, where would you make your bet?
If I was gonna make a bet, then I would make a bet that it's somewhere around here where they have been taking biopsies before.
Okay. I would also say to you that you can bet even more by saying 2 to 4 o'clock is the place where we know dysplasia exists. So let's just, before we do acetic acid, which I have in my hand, and I know I'm putting you off, sorry. Let's use all the tools at our disposal, including, because this is very short, right?
Yeah.
So we can, in this case, probably use virtual chroma. So what is that there? There's a biopsy. So let's freeze that image here with like this. Freeze it, right?
Yeah.
This is a biopsy site, almost certainly, in a Barrett segment. What do you see around there?
So some fibrosis and neovascularization, yep, where they have taken the biopsy.
Nothing clearly irregular there.
No, okay. Maybe a little bit slightly dilated, but that could be just an inflammation.
But it's important, as you said, to know a biopsy site and where it is and what it looks like, so that you can, of course, also use that for your detection of dysplasia. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so look more in that area. So along this line, we need to have a good look and make sure that we're not missing something here. And what about there, in that zone? Down there? Yeah, here. What about this?
Yeah, so here now we're seeing something. This is so beautiful about near focus and just like cleaning up the area and just taking the time and being meticulous about the observation, because right now I see some dilated vessels.
Please don't unfreeze. Okay, so keep describing.
Dilated vessels. It's not irregular.
No, it's not.
No,
but it's not the same as surrounding.
But it's not the same as surrounding. So my question here would be whether this is like something that has happened after biopsies. Is this an old inflammation that's healed? Is there some sort of low-grade dysplasia under that?
Right, so let's answer all those questions. Looking at this image, because we're now just talking about virtual chromatography without acetic acid, we'll put acetic acid in a second. This is a demarcated zone between two areas of clearly normal columnar epithelium at the top, 12 o'clock, and at the 6th. You have a clearly demarcated area where the vascular pattern is disordered, not totally disordered. I completely agree with you. Not very disordered, actually, much less disordered than the extent we saw before. So to answer your question, how can we tell where we can put acetic acid? It's a very nice way of doing it. So let's do that now.
Oh, high grade, there's inflammation. Yeah, we'll just treat them. It will be nothing immediately high grade, you maybe want to refer it if you're not comfortable with Barrett's. I don't know what you think, John. I mean, there's even more pressure on the UK system, so you could have avoided an extra endoscopy, I think.
Well, I agree, Lob. I think we're all under pressure in different ways. I just think there are two things. There's this service pressure, which probably shouldn't dictate management, but there's also an inappropriate or an additional procedure for the patient if that is not appropriate. And that's as important as anything else. Even in a fee-paying service, you don't want to be paying for something that you don't require. Equally, if you have got something that requires surveillance, it's important that you get that surveillance interval right. And I think it's important when you're training, you'll see guidelines change and evolve with time. And this is probably an area that will change and evolve with time. I think Seattle protocol will probably have its day. AI will come in. So you need to keep abreast of developments as things are progressing and ensure your patients get appropriate follow-up. And just on that matter, if you have a change in policy within your department, you need a strategy to inform the patients who are on an old guideline system or an old strategy that things have changed and explain to them why you've either stopped surveying them or you're going to change the interval or whatever you decide to do.
You were saying, David, that this patient could have been saved one endoscopy if it was referred after the high grade immediately, because the high grade you would never let them walk freely. So
yeah, I think that's right. And of course, yeah, we can all. I mean, yeah, it's not in, I'm sure you don't mean to criticize, you just mean to say that in this can be optimized, and the guidelines suggest that you should have referred that patient.